The EHJ goes with RTJ. Here we go, 26 cars, 25 laps, $5,000 on the line. They fire in the Racing for Heroes. Starting zone prelim feature number 1 is underway.
Let's see if Dan Stone got that power steering issue fixed. Here comes Cody Overton on the bottom of turn number 2. O'Neal has the lead. Overton down the back straightaway. Here comes Dan Stone in 2. We've had 17 different winners this year in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Hudson has 4 of them, and he has the lead right now on lap number 1.
Good leads. Cody Overton second, Dan Stone third. Rick Eckert right now runs 4th as Tim McCready tries to get rolling up on the outside. 5th spot right now is McCready over Dalton Wilson. Mason Ziegler currently sits in 7th. There comes Dalton Wilson down to the inside of McCready. James to battle for 5th. As your race leader, Hudson O'Neal is going to sidestep the 10 of Dave Stam. He puts that car 1 lap down, and that car is now a buffer between himself and your second place driver, Cody Overton. Overton going to work his way by Stam going into turns 3 and 4. Try not to lose much ground to Hudson O'Neal. O'Neal had 7/10 of a second on Cody Overton. That last time by, this time by 9 laps going up on the Bobby Rahal scoreboard. 8/10 of a second the advantage for the New Deal.
O'Neal works the bottom on the truth, and he does. And Greg Satterley goes a lap down here in this first feature.
And James, trouble for Dan Stone, who is running very strong at the front of the field as he has made the hard left-hand turn into the infield as well. His race is finished, as is the case for the 11 of Spencer Hughes. He's called it a night as you've got a new 4th place car. The 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. works by Tim McCready. James this time by 7 to go. See if he's got enough time to catch Rick Eckert. Don't know that he's got enough time to catch Hudson O'Neal, James, because as O'Neal crosses the stripe, popsicle sticks in the air. 2 laps to go for the driver out of Martinsville, Indiana.
Well, Corn needed a caution last night, and he got it. He came from 6th on a restart to get the win, but right now Hudson O'Neal, oh, that was close. Down the main straightaway, maybe contact. As you see on the bottom there, is that Dylan Stake in the D19 cars. He goes down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Final lap, Dustin, in this first 25 lapper. That is Dylan Stake.
It is Dylan Stake, and that is Hudson O'Neal as he comes off corner number 4. Checkered flags out. He's going to win the Group A feature. Hudson O'Neal gets it done in the first prelim tonight at Port Royal. Second will go to Rick Eckert. We'll lead him into the Racing for Heroes starting zone. And the final feature of the night here at Port Royal is Going Green.
2 drivers who've dominated Eldora over the last few years into turn number 1. Overton and Davenport at the Racing 3-row start zone. And Davenport pushes up the track. Here comes Marlar through the middle. Mike Marlar second last night. Third last night behind Overton and your winner Ricky Thornton Jr. goes side by side for second off of turn 4. 1 lap in the books.
Mike Marlar with a run down to the inside of Jonathan Davenport. Superman, though, will hold that second spot just behind your race leader, Brandon Overton. And Ben may be right. Mike Marlar looks like he's got a fast hot rod in that Ronnie Delk-owned Longhorn here this evening as that lead trio is stretched out by a few car lengths over the battle for 4th between Mike Norris and Tyler Erb at the end of lap 2. It's still Overton, Davenport, Marlar running 1, 2, 3.
As they'll come out of turn 4, Brandon Overton, 5 laps to go for his first win since the end of January at Golden Isles.
Brandon Overton that time by with a 1-second advantage over Mike Marlar. Marlar trying to keep the 49 of Jonathan Davenport behind him. Davenport got that good run down the back straightaway. That was the battle for 4th momentarily under screen as Michael Norris takes that spot back away from Chris Ferguson. And James, another fantastic battle for 2nd with 4 to go.
A good starting spot in one of those 6 heat races here tomorrow night. Watch turn number 2. We see it at Florence and Eldora, the run for Davenport. He's on the gas. Marlar switches lanes. Davenport to the bottom of the side by side into turn 3 with 4 to go.
Davenport going to clear him, at least momentarily, as he drives way up the racetrack. And yes, Jonathan Davenport back up into 2nd.
Right there out of turn 4, a car in the tail end of the field. He's going to get right in front of Overton. And now Davenport's going to go to the top shelf. Here we go, right here. White flag next time. Here comes Jonathan Davenport.
Davenport's got to run down the back straightaway. He'll try to close in on Brandon Overton. Maybe a little bit of damage on the right rear of that race car. Davenport keeps the 49 glued to the high side. James, they come down to the white flag.
Oh, man, into turn 1. That might have been it right there. As he's pulling away, Marlar goes to the bottom. They're side by side at turn 2 for 2nd. Here comes Davenport. One last chance, Dustin Jarrett.
Got to run down the back straightaway. As they head through turns 3 and 4 for the final time, Davenport will go up top. He's going to try to get a run down to the bottom. Here they come, a drag race to the line. It'll be Overton getting the win. Davenport second, Marlar third,